Slow down, slow down, slow down. Hi, how are you? Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hey. We're in the theater. How y'all doing? Good. What a lively bunch for a Sunday afternoon. Lively bunch. Welcome to the Metcalf Theater. I'm Catherine Bentley. I am your host for tonight. I am a theater professor here at SIUE. I'm the artistic director of Black Theater Workshop, director of our Black Studies program, director of our Impact Academy, and I am happy to have you all in this space this afternoon. We are back in live theater, and I'm very excited. We've had a wonderful, wonderful weekend. You are in for, you know how people say the cliche, you're in for a special treat. I'm really telling you the truth today. We have a group of phenomenal performers today. We have been lucky enough to have a group called New World Contemporary Dance Theater, based out of Denver, Colorado, but the dancers come from everywhere. They flew in on Sunday and just have been laser focused and rehearsed all week to bring you this wonderful production. This is the 23rd year of Black Theater Workshop here on this campus. Isn't that amazing? I was talking to some of the actors backstage. I'm like, that's longer than they've been alive. And so it's a wonderful commitment that SIUE has made to Black theater and to uplifting the voices of our Black students here on this campus. I am so just grateful this year that we were able to bring this production with the help of Arts and Issues with our Grant Andrew, who's here with us today. It's been wonderful. The theater department, Chuck Harper is here, our chair of our theater and dance department. He's here. So let's give Chuck some love. From my colleagues, from Teresa Kelly, who is has been here as our lighting designer and just helped all week with folks. Let's give Teresa some love. And that we have in the house with us today as well, the actual, they're walking up here, are they lovely? The co-artistic directors of New World Contemporary Dance Theater. And Chris Page Sanders. Chris is a native of St. Louis, but they both are based in Denver, Colorado now. And so this has just been so wonderful to have them here with us. We actually had Bashir led a class. I don't know if anybody here was in the class on Wednesday, a dance class for our students. And it's just really been a very special week. And I'm sad that today is their last day. But folks have flights to catch as early as 6 p.m. So they're going to dance and we're going to have a good time, and they're going to fly back to their mini homes. We're not going to do a talk back today, but we will have the cast come out after the show, introduce themselves, and then they'll be, after they get out of their costumes, they'll be around and milling around, so you can ask questions if you have questions. And also, because Corey Byers from MassCom has been live streaming this, you can go on our YouTube channel and you can see the production, the performances, at least from last night and then today, and you'll be able to see the talk back from last night, which was really good. And if you have questions, I'll show you how to get in touch with them, okay? Because they are all very accessible and would love to talk to folks. I'm just so excited, y'all. I gotta calm down. I want to ask you all, because I always forget stuff. Turn off your phones. I'm gonna turn mine off. Please, no photography. Oh, how do you turn this thing on? Yeah. So no photography. Keep your masks on the entire show, up to your nose, down to your chin. The actors and the dancers will have their masks off, but we ask you to please keep these on so we can all stay as safe as we possibly can. I think that I've said enough. What do you all think? I'm just excited that you all could be here with us. You think I'm good? I think I've said everything I know. I am so happy to present to you all Black Theater Workshop 2022. I forgot the name, From Jimmy to America, and Ode to James Baldwin. Let's give it up for these wonderful.
Okay, real quick, can I have everybody's attention, please? I want to tell y'all a story. When I was growing up, I was taught in American history books that Africa had no history. You know, that I was a savage about whom the less said, the better. I had been saved by Europe, brought to America, and of course, I believed that I didn't have much choice. Those were the only books there were. Everyone else seemed to agree. If you walk out of Harlem or ride out of Harlem downtown, the rest of the world agrees too. What you see, it is much bigger. It is cleaner. It is richer. It is whiter. It is safer than where you are. They collect the garbage. People can obviously pay their life insurance. Their children look happy and safe, but you're not. And you go back home, and it would seem that, of course, it's an act of God. This is true that you belong where white people have put you. I mean, it's only since the Second World War that there's been a counter image available to the world. That image didn't come about through any legislation or any part of American government, but through the fact that Africa was suddenly on the stage of the world. And Africans had to be dealt with in a way they had never been dealt with before. So what did that do? That gave the American Negro for the first time a sense of himself, beyond the savage, beyond the clown, which has created many conundrums and probably will continue to do so. Because there's one thing that the white world has not seemed to have learned yet, but I like to think I have, is that Black people are just like everybody else. I know that's shocking, but I'm serious. One has consistently used the myth of Negro and the myth of color to pretend like what they were dealing with was something, something exotic, something bizarre, something so far away from human practicality that it was basically unknown. Alas, it's not true. We are human too. How you doing? But, and unless we can manage to accept and establish some kind of dialogue between the people who have paid for the American dream and the other people who have not quite achieved it, we're going to be in trouble. And that's what concerns me most. Because we're sitting in this room, and I like to think that most of us, if not all of us, are relatively civilized, right? We can talk to each other. We can have a discussion, talk about certain things, right? So we can walk out of here assuming that the measure of our enlightenment, or hopefully our politeness, has some effect on the world. It may not.
It may not.
And I remember, for
example, when the ex-Attorney General, Mr. Robert Kennedy, said that it was conceivable that in 40 years in America we might have a Negro president.
I'm sure
that sounded like a very emancipated statement, I suppose, to white people. They were not in Harlem when the statement was first heard. And did not hear, and possibly will never hear, the laughter and the bitterness and the scorn which the statement was greeted. From the point of view of the man in the Harlem barbershop, Robert Kennedy only got here yesterday. And now he's already on his way to the presidency. We've been here for 400 years, and now he tells us that maybe in 40 years, if you're good, we may let you become president.
I'm not sure anymore just how it happened before. The places that I knew were sunny and blue. I can feel it deep inside. This black day is bright. I have no fear when I say, and I say every day. Every nigga is a star. Every nigga is a star. When I touch your line, every nigga is a star. I have walked the streets alone. 20 years ago. You can say I chose you, but got the right place in the sun, where there's love every day is a star. nigga, full nigga, real nigga, rich nigga, old nigga, house nigga, still nigga, still nigga, still nigga. I nigga,
Well, I know this, and anyone who's ever tried to live knows this. So what you say about somebody else, you know, anybody else, reveals you. What I think of you as being is dictated by my own necessities, my own psychology, my own fears and desires. I'm not describing you when I talk about you, I'm describing me. Now here in this country, we've got something called a nigger. It doesn't have terms I beg you to remark exist in any other country in the world. We invented the nigger. I didn't invent it. White people invented it. I've always known, I had to know by the time I was 17 years old. What you were describing was not me. What you were afraid of was not me. It had to be something else. You invented it. So it had to be something you were afraid of. You invested me with. And that's so. No matter what you've done to me, I can say to you this. I mean it. I know you can't do any more, and I have nothing to lose. And I know, and I've always known. No. And really always. That's probably happening. I've always known that I'm not a nigger. But if I am not the nigger, and if it's true that your invention reveals you, then who is the nigger? I'm not the victim here. I know one thing from another. I know I'm going to born and I'm going to be, you know, I was born on top and I'm going to die. The only thing that's true, I know the worst things about it. And that a person is more important than anything else. Anything else. I learned this because I had to learn it. But you still think, I gather, the nigger is necessary. But it's unnecessary to me, so it must be necessary to you. So I give you your problem back. You're the nigger that he isn't me.
I have walked the streets alone. 20 years I've been on my own, to be hated and despised. No one to sympathize. But there's one great thing I know. You can say I told you so. We've got a bright place in the sun, where there's love for everyone. And who will deny that you and I
with a lovely light complexion. There's nothing hit or miss about the beauty benefits of Natanola bleaching cream.
Brighter and lovelier day by day. Take a jar of Natanola and see for yourself how quickly it lightens and brightens your complexion, loosens blackheads, makes your skin feel softer and smoother, look clearer and lovelier. Get Natanola right away. Everyone should use smart bleaching cream.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips. Who taught you to hate your back from the top of your head to the sole of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own town? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. Somebody, I may be poor, but I am. Somebody, I may be on welfare, but I am. Somebody, I may be unskilled, but I am. Somebody, I am. Black, beautiful, proud.
Do I know? When you're feeling a little low, here's a great truth you should remember and know, that you're gifted and blessed. You got the soul intact. Oh, that's a fact. You're gifted and blessed. Oh, it's a very sweet thing, yes it is. You're gifted and blessed.
To elucidate for myself a theology and the effects of theology, which I then only realized I carried in myself. It was not the world that was my oppressor only. What the world does to you is the world does it to you long enough and effectively enough. You begin to do it to yourself. You become a collaborator, an accomplice of your own murderers, because you do the same things they do. And that's enough to begin to break out of all of that and try to become yourself.
Somebody! Hallelujah! Somebody! Hallelujah! Somebody! Hallelujah!
Are you ready? Are you really ready? Ready to do what is necessary? To do what is necessary to do? Are you ready? Are you ready, black man? Are you ready? Black woman, are you ready? Are you ready, ready, ready? Are you ready? Give me good now. Give me good now. Give me good now. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready to give yourself, your love, your soul, your heart, to create life? Are you ready to create out of nothing? Are you ready?
If Black English isn't a language,
Then tell me what is.
What joins all languages and what joins all men is the necessity to confront life, to outwit death.
language is a political instrument, a means and proof of power.
Language reveals the private identity.
Language connects one with a larger public communal identity.
Language divorces one from the larger public communal identity.
If Black English isn't a language, then tell me what is.
Now, I do not know what white Americans would sound like if there had never been any Black people in the United States, but they would not sound the way that they sound.
Jazz, for example, is a very specific sexual term.
As in jazzy, baby.
But white people purified it into the jazz age.
Soccer tune, which means roughly the same thing that has been adopted by Nathaniel Hawthorne's descendants with no qualms or hesitations at all. Along with let it all hang out, right on, between socks.
Which was once the Blacks' most total and despairing image of poverty.
Was transformed into the thing called the Beat Generation, which phenomenon was largely composed of, uptight, middle class, white people imitating poverty, trying to get down.
To get with it.
Doing that thing.
Doing their despairing best to be funky, which we the Blacks never dreamed of doing. We were funky, baby, like funk was going out of style.
No one can have his cake and eat it too, am I right?
I heard that.
It is late in the day to attempt to penalize Black people for having created a language that permits the nation its only glimpse of reality.
Black people came to the United States chained to each other. from different tribes. Neither could speak the other's language.
If two black people at that bitter hour in the world's history had been able to speak to each other, slavery could never have lasted as long as it did.
The slave began the formation of the Black church. And within that unprecedented tabernacle, Black English began to be formed.
And now for something completely different.
She's your queen to be, a queen to be forever, a queen who'll do whatever His Highness desires. She's your queen to be, a vision of perfection, an object of affection to quench your royal fire, completely free from infection, to be used at your discretion, waiting only for your direction, your queen to be.
Wilt thou have this man to be thy wedded husband, to live together after God's ordinance in the whole estate of matrimony? Wilt thou love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, keep thee only unto him, so long as ye both shall live?
There's a prejudice that at one time was against homosexuals.
At one time.
Yeah, hold on. When it was a criminal offense, even. Then that's got removed.
The law.
And people started to appear to accept. Back, it comes again now because of AIDS.
It never went anywhere. It never went anywhere. People's attitudes don't change because the law changes. I know that. And homosexual questions like this, it's like what we call a racial question. Nobody, no man and no woman, is precisely what they think they are. Love is where you find it. And you don't know where it will carry you. And it is a terrifying thing. Love is the only human possibility, but it's terrifying. And a man can fall in love with a man, a woman can fall in love with a woman. There's nothing anybody can do about it. It's not the problems of the law. It's nothing to do with the church. And if you lie about that, you lie about everything. And no one has the right to try to tell another human being whom he or she can or should love.
Will you? Yes, and I know who asked the questions, brother. Oh, I love you, and if you'll have me. I'm sorry.
Just stop!
Will you have me the way that your lawfully wedded husband from this day forth to having a home and richer or poorer? Baby, please, please.
I do!
That's all that happens to you if you can't love anybody. Doesn't make any difference if you can't love a woman, can't love a man, you can't love anybody. You're dangerous. There's no way of learning humility. No way of learning that other people suffer. No way of learning how to use your suffering and theirs to get from one place to another. In short, you fail even responsibility, which is to love each other.
I think the only thing that's changed maybe since Martin Luther King since 54 is the black woman.
I don't think she's changed. I just think she's become more visible.
No, I think she's changed because there was a time, let's say my mother, my aunt, you know women like that.
Right.
They would say, okay, if that's the way you establish establish your manhood, then I'm gonna go for it. And my generation says, hey, no good. You must establish a new base, and we are as a group demanding that a new base be established.
Okay, but be careful as a woman what you demand of a man.
I demand that he be a man.
But you can't demand it, you have to suggest it.
Well, that's your ego that says that no, I demand it. Now you deal with it.
Okay, I'll do it.
I demand that you be a man, and I don't think that's asking too much. I think a man and black men have always been opportunistic. People are either going to eat or be starved to death. Sometimes you're not able to feed your family. Sometimes you're not able to clothe your family. Do you then also deprive them of your manhood and the imprint that a man has? Who teaches our son how to be?
Okay, I agree with you, right? And I see that very well, but it's one thing to be in a situation where you see a future, however bloody, and another to be in a situation where you see no future at all.
But it is incumbent. It is incumbent that you see your future.
Okay, if I know what I'm demanding of you, in some sense, makes sense. If I know that if I know that the kids have to eat today, tonight, or tomorrow, in some way makes sense, then I can be there. But if it doesn't make any sense and I don't see anything coming out, then what do you want?
Will we eat if you're not there?
If you're on welfare, you won't eat if I am there. So what I'm saying is, yes, a man can do that if he sees that it means something. My father, he couldn't see that, and he was quite right because there wasn't anything there.
There is something, because all I know that works in the world is relationships.
So, okay.
It takes two people to have a relationship.
Yes, but the relationship.
If you don't have a dream, fake it.
You can't fake a dream.
You gotta fake it, because we don't have dreams these days. How the hell can you have a dream? For what? Everybody's jiving, so let's jive on that level.
And if I love you, I can't lie to you.
Of course you can lie to me. If you love me and you're going off fanatic someplace, you're lying to me. Because why do I care about the truth? I can't be there like how they said, much now, don't explain. Of course you're lying to me, because I don't even want to. And why are you going to be truthful with me when you lie to everyone else? You lie when you slide at that cracker down at the job, right? So lie to me, smile, treat me the same way you would treat him.
I can't treat you the same way I treat him.
You must. You must. Because I've got the ground to be angry. He's happy with you, of course. He doesn't know you're unhappy. You grin at him all day long. You come home and I catch hell. Because I love you, I get the least of you. I get the very minimum. And I'm saying, make it with me. Is that too much of a black woman to ask of a black man?
Giovanni, look, you knew this day was going to come. You knew that my fiance was coming back.
You were not leaving me for her. You were leaving me for some other reason. You lied. You lied so much you have come to believe all your life. I have never seen you. You're not leaving me for her. You are really in love with this woman.
Okay, look, no matter what you think, I do love her.
You don't. You don't. You do not love anyone. You never have loved anyone, and I'm sure you never will. You love your purity. You love your purity. You're just like a little virgin who walks away with your hands in front of you after you have precious metal, gold, silver, ruby, baby diamond between your legs, and you never give it to anybody. Never let me touch a man or woman. If you want to be clean, you just came here to cover yourself, and you think you go out cover yourself, and you do not understand, not even for 5 minutes in the meeting. You're going to lead your life because you makes you stay calm. You're going to despise your life because you never read this thing, and you want to kill him with all of the loving little morality that you are. My father was immoral than I have ever been in all my life. Look at me. What you done to me? You did not love me. If I did not love you, if this what you do in love.
Okay, Giovanni, what do you want me to do? I can't help the way that I feel.
What do you feel? Do you know how you feel? What do you feel?
I want to get out of this room and I want to get away from you.
Oh, so you want to get away from me? Yes. You can just be honest. And why do you want to get away from me?
I can't have a life with you.
You can have a life with her?
Yes, I can have a life with her. What kind of life do you have in this room? It is filthy. What kind of life did you think I could get away from this love that you talk about? You don't need it. You just want to be big later. You want to go out. You want to earn money. You want to be big man. Try to want me to stay here. Cook the food. Watch this thing. Back to the closet of a room. And I feel like we are all dying.
a condition so powerful. It may be that which holds the stars in front of him. It may be that which pushes and urges the blood in the veins. Courage. You have to have courage to love somebody. Because you miss everything. Everything.
I love you.
That's what you mean. That is what you want. That's all you ever mean when you say that you love me. You say that I've been trying to kill you? What do you think you've been doing to me?
I'm not trying to make you anything.
Yeah, but why aren't you? Isn't it just that you take me because you're afraid and you don't have the guts to go after a woman, which is what you really want?
You only been talking about what I want. But I've only been talking about who I want.
But I'm a man, Giovanni! What do you think can happen between us?
You know very well what can happen between us. And it is for that reason you are leaving me.
Baby, all I'm saying is fake it with me for 10 years so that we get a child on his feet that said, yeah, father smiled at mother. He talked to me about school today. Who cares that you can or can't read? Most Americans can't read. Most people can't read. They just look at the pictures.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying, but just think about it for a second. Really just think about it. I don't know if that's a human possibility. If I gotta smile at a cat all day on the job, you understand why I'm smiling, right? Maybe it's not because I want to, it's because baby needs new shoes. I can't go to work, put on a performance all day on the job, and then come home and put a performance on all night in the house.
So one of the performances will stop.
Okay, so you say, and I might be really waiting to go with that, but who's gonna pay the rent?
The rent will get paid.
Baby, you gotta be willing to see my point of view.
I see your point of view, but the rent will have to get
The
paid.
price of the rent is my smile.
No, I don't want you prostituting yourself. I demand that you not be a prostitute.
I don't want you prostituting yourself either, but one of us gotta work.
You will work it out because you are intelligent enough and sensitive enough, and you are man enough to work out a new system. Because as long as the assumptions are the same, nothing will change. So we must corner ourselves to make a new assumption.
A black child looking at the world around him, he doesn't know quite what to make of it yet. But he's aware that there's a reason why his mother works so hard. He's aware that there is a reason why his father is always on edge. He knows that if he sits down in the front of the bus, his father or his mother slaps him and drags him to the back of that bus. He knows that there is a terrible weight on the shoulders of his parents, and that menaces him. And it isn't long before he discovers the shape of his oppression.
In the case of the American Negro, from the moment you are born, every stick, every stone is white. Since you have yet seen a mirror, I suppose you are too. It comes as a great shock around the age of 5, 6, or 7 to discover that the flag in which you have pledged allegiance to has not pledged allegiance to you.
It comes as a great shock to see Gary Cooper killing off the Indians. And although you are rooting for Gary Cooper, that the Indians are you. It comes as a great shock to see the birthplace, which you owe your life and identity to, has not, in its whole system of reality, evolved any place for you. The disaffection and the gap between people only on the basis of their skins begins there to accelerate throughout your whole lifetime to when you are 30 and are having a terrible time to manage to trust your countrymen. And when you are 30 and you have been through a certain kind of meal, and the most serious effect of the meal begins there. But Now the catalog of disaster. The policemen, the taxi drivers, the waiters, the landlady, the landlord, the banks, the insurance companies, millions of details, 24 hours of every single day, which spell out to you that you are a worthless human being. It is not that. It's by that time you began to see it happening. In your daughter, in your son, in your niece, or in your nephew.
You are 30 by now, and nothing you have done has helped to escape the trap. But what is worse than that is nothing you have done, and as far as you can tell, nothing you can do will save your son or your daughter from meeting the same disaster, not impossibly the same end. Now, we're speaking about expense, and I suppose there are several ways to address oneself to some attempt to find what that word means here. Let me put it this way, that from a very literal point of view, the harbors and the ports and the railroads of this country, the economy, especially of the southern states, could not conceivably be what it has become if they had not had, and still do not have, indeed for so long, for many generations, cheap labor. I am stating this very seriously, and this is not an overstatement. I picked the cotton. I carried it to the market, and I built the railroads under someone else's whip for nothing. For nothing.
The year that preceded my father's death made a great change in my life, for obvious reasons. I was living in New Jersey, working, living amongst the Southerners, both white and black. And, I knew about the South. Of course, I knew how Southerners treated Negroes, how they expected them to behave, but it never crossed my mind that they would expect me to behave that way. And, I knew about Jim Crow too, but, I never experienced it until I went to the same self-service restaurant 3 times. I stood with the Princeton boys before the counter, all high and mighty, waiting on a hamburger and a coffee. But it was always an extraordinarily long time before anything had been set before me. It wasn't until my 4th visit that I realized that nothing ever was set before me. I simply just picked something up. Negroes weren't served there, I was told. They had been waiting for me to realize that I was the only Negro present. Of course, once I was told this, I was then determined to go there all the time. But the next time they were ready for me, I never ate there again.
You see, the flag is drenched with our blood. Because you see, so many of our ancestors was killed because we have never accepted slavery. We had to live on it, but we've never wanted it. So we know that this flag is drenched with our blood. So what the young people are saying now, give us a chance to be young men, respected as a man, as we know this country was built on the black backs of black people across this country. And if we don't have it, you ain't gonna have it either, because we gonna tear it up. That's what they saying. And people ought to understand that. I don't see why they don't understand.
Everybody run, run, run. Everybody scatter, scatter. Some people lost some blood. Someone nearly died. Someone just died. Police they come, army they come. Confusion everywhere. 7 minutes later, all don't cool down, brother. Police don't go away, army don't disappear. Them leave sorrow, tears and blood. Them regular trademark. Them leave sorrow, tears and blood. Them regular trademark. Them regular trademark. Them regular trademark. Them leave sorrow, tears and blood. Them regular trademark. Them regular trademark. Them regular trademark. La 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 la. My people say they fear too much. We fear for the thing we no see. We fear for the air around us. We fear to fight for freedom. We fear to fight for liberty. We fear to fight for justice. We fear to fight for happiness. We always get reason to fear. We don't want life. We don't want food. We don't want things. We don't want food. I get one child. I'm ready for house. My body for house. I want build house. I don't build house. I don't want quench. I want enjoy. I don't want food. So policeman go slap your face, you know, good talk. I mean, man go weak, no, your shoe, they look like donkey. Rhodesia, they do their own on industry, for nothing. South Africa, they do their own. Them give sorrow, tears and blood. That is why everybody will run. Everybody scatter. Some people lost some bed. Someone nearly died. Police become army become. Confusion everywhere. And so, time will they go. Time will wait for nobody. Like that. The police will come, army will come with confusion inside. Like this. Everybody run. Everybody scatter. Some people lost some blood. Someone nearly died. Someone just died. Police they come, police they come. Confusion everywhere. Everybody run. Everybody scatter. Some people lost some blood. Someone nearly died.
I'm still alive. I'm still breathing. So that's yeah. But if you think that rap round is a very rap, something new, I refer you back to an old song. The Holy Ghost love it. And it's supposed to be spiritual. It's supposed to be like Christian church, but it really is a slavical song. God says, "I had my way. If I had my way, little children, Great God, if I had my way, I'd tear this building down. It is not new for me. We've always felt that. It is new for you. And if we were white, if we had, in fact, in your mind, a frame of reference, our heroes would be your heroes too. Not Gerald would be a hero for himself. Malcolm X might still be alive. It is that you can face, in some ways, the discontent of white people when they rise, they're heroes. But any white man in the world says, give me liberty or give me death. The entire white world applauds. When a black man says exactly the same thing, word for word, he is judged a criminal and treated like one, and everything possible is done to make an example of this bad nigger so they won't be more like him. Now, you can do this if you like until the party is over. But I know, after all, who my heroes are. And George Washington is not one of my heroes. What the American public has always tried to do is to accommodate me into a system which is always meant to my death. They want me to become an accomplice to my own murder. That is what you really mean by integration. Because no matter what I say, no matter what Martin said, the despair in the ghetto, the despair throughout the country, accumulates with every hour, and people grow up much faster than you think they do. People are talking about something now, he said black power. No one is concerned about white power, it's now wiping out Southeast Asia. No one is concerned about the white power, which keeps my children in the ghetto, which does not educate my children, except to become inferior. This is power. And when the Republic reacts as it did to the linking of the two words, power and lack, it's a confession of what the country has done with its power. And no matter how many people say, you're being paranoid about police brutality, I know what I'm talking about. I survived those precinct cases. I know that every black cat in this country knows what the police was really like in 25 papers. I know what he was like when I was really helpless. I was beating my heart. And I don't have jobs I'm not really helpless. I know, too, that if I haven't studied the mind, whatever I have to do, just to know that Jimmy Ball is not just some other nigga. Go my head up just like he goes up everybody else said. This is done with a little stage. This cannot be overstated. It's not my mother in the morning. My sister's my brother. It's only now being reborn I'm using this happening to your heroes. But this happened all these years to us. For me, this has always been a violent country. It's never been a democracy.
The first time I ever saw a man shot to death, his arms flailing wildly like he was dancing for a god he knew he was about to see. What an unholy prayer his body was. Arms were all in the wrong direction, but this poem cannot be about Black Death. It is about how on that night we listened to Tupac, we tried to imagine heaven's ghetto, corner stores draped in gold, little girls playing double dutch, and him still dancing. The following morning I called my mother, because black is still the only God I know worth praying to. I wanted her to know her baby boy was still black and still alive. And how political our phone calls are. How political my phone calls with my mother always will be, but this poem cannot be about politics. This poem has to be about black joy. It has to be about fish fries and cookouts. It has to be about a place where all the little black kids know all the dances even before they come out. It is about how some days the most revolutionary thing I can do is enjoy my niece's laughter, how their brown faces bubble like good fried bologna sandwiches. This poem is about how when my brother came home from a tour in Iraq, the first thing we did was make fun of each other. We laughed, then we said, I love you. It's about how my aunt laid there in her deathbed, waiting for the cancer to try and make a liar out of her own body. She sat there and cracked jokes. You cannot kill blackness. Too much of it is wrapped in an unshakable joy. And ain't that why they think we magic in the first place? That despite every reason not to, we still smile. We still laugh. We still love. We still black, y'all. We still. We still. We still. All's my life I has to fight, nigga. All's my life hard times like yeah, bad trips like yeah. Nazareth, I'm fucked up, homie, you fucked up, but if God got us, then we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Nigga, you feel me? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, you feel me? We gon' be alright. And when I wake up, I recognize you looking at me for the pay cut. Bahamas, I be looking at you from the face down. I'm at 11, even boom with the face down. Scheming, and let me tell you about my life. Painkillers only put me in the twilight. But pretty pussy and Benjamin is the highlight. I tell my mama I love her, but this what I like. Lord knows, 20 of them in my Chevy. Tell them all to come and get me, reaping everything I sow. So my karma come in heaven, no preliminary hearings on my record. I'm a motherfucking gangster in silence for the record. Tell the world I know it's too late. Boys and girls I think I've gone great. Trying to side my face this all day. Won't you please believe when I say, when you know we've been up and down before. Nigga, when our pride was low, looking at the world like, where do we go? Nigga, and we hate poor. Wanna kill us dead in the street for sure. Nigga, I'm in the preacher's door. My knees getting weak and my gun might blow, but we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Nigga, hear me, nigga, feel me? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, hear me, nigga, feel me? We gon' be alright. What you want? You a house, you a car, 40 acres and a mule, a piano, a guitar, anything. See, my name is Lucy, I'm your dog. Motherfucker, you can live at the mall. I can see the evil, I can tell it. I know it's illegal, I don't think about it. I deposit every year zero, thinking of my partner, put the candy, penning on the ringo, digging in my pocket, in a profit, big enough to feed you. Everything my logic, get another dollar just to keep you in the presence of your Chico. I don't talk about it, be about it, every day I see you. If I got it, then you know you got it, ever I can reach you. Pet up, that's all. Just back and chat, shut the back for y'all. I rap, I'm black on tracks, so rest assured. My rights, my wrongs, I'm right till I'm right with God. And you know, we've been up and down before. Nigga, when our pride was low, looking at the world like, where do we go? Nigga, and we hate poor. Wanna kill us dead in the street for sure. Nigga, I'm in the preacher's door. My knees getting weak and my gun might blow, but we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Nigga, hear me, nigga, feel me? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, hear me, nigga, feel me? We gon' be alright. Cross my heart. Love me is something to the freedom of my changes. I'm alright. In love for you, dark nights and my prayers. I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same, abusing my power full of resentment. Resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in a hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers until I came home.
I need to introduce the creative trio of folks that did this here right here. Miss Jacqueline Thompson. Magic. Before we go any further, we want to thank you for your space. So I'm right here. And I don't mind it one bit. So I thank you all. Thank you so much. We don't have a lot of time because they got to get flights to all different places in the country. But we did want to ask if people would introduce themselves, right? Is that what you wanted to do, Chris? And then say where they're from. You all want to go start down here? Maybe say what year you are? Are we in? Yeah. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn Gibson. I'm a sophomore and I'm from Chicago.
Hello, my name is Joshua. I am from St. Louis, Missouri.
All right, if you enjoyed the show, can I get a whoop whoop? All right, my name is Martez. I am from Kansas City, Missouri.
Hi, my name is Nat Terrell, and I'm from Denver, Colorado.
Hi, my name is Lamar Baylor, and I'm from Camden, New Jersey.
Hello, my name is Marlena Locklear, and I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hello, everybody. I am Jason Herbert, and I'm from Harlem, New York.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nina Moore, originally from Denver, Colorado, but I live in Philadelphia.
I'm Demarcus Akeem Suggs, originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Hi, everyone. My name is Trayvon Perkins. I am a sophomore here at SIUE.
Hi, everybody. My name is D'Angelo Franklin. I am a sophomore here at Southern Illinois University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bashir Muhammad Page Sanders. I am originally from Baltimore, Maryland, as well as the co-artistic director of Newark Contemporary Dance Theater, and which is currently based in Denver, Colorado.
Hello, everyone. I am Christopher Page Sanders. I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm also the other co-artistic director of Newark Contemporary Dance Theater.
And I'm Jacqueline Thompson. I got the pleasure to collaborate with these two wonderful, amazing artists, and I'm from St. Louis.
Well, I know we said we don't have time for a talk back, but we do invite you all to watch the YouTube from yesterday. We had a great talk back. And after actors get changed, we'll come out and then you come out in the lobby. But I did want to ask you all just bear with us a minute. I'd like to take a picture with everybody, including Teresa Kelly, our artistic team, and all of our backstage crew. If you all could come, just bear with us a minute because I don't want you to get up while we're doing the picture. If you can get away, I don't want you photo bombing us. Maybe while we're getting this together, can we get a little more light? If you all want to pop out a question, if you have a question, while we can you choreograph this, Chris? Anybody have a question they can pop out while they can answer while you're yes.
I just want to say you guys are such beautiful dancers. Your technique is so gorgeous. I was sitting here the entire time like my jaw is dropped the entire time. So beautiful technique.
Any other questions while this is being? I love having choreographers ready to take the pictures. I'm not good at taking pictures. Any other questions or comments? Well, they got here on Sunday. Some of these, raise your hand if you had not done this choreography before. Some of the dancers had not done. This young lady, she's in high school. She's 17. So they're just fierce. When they came in on Sunday, they were like this, y'all, like focused. And so they just every day, just in rehearsing all day. And our actors only started. When did y'all start? They really only had like maybe a week, and with this text, so yeah. Are y'all taking your mask off? Can I be right here? Yeah, that's fine. Want me to do a split? Yeah. Okay. I want me to do a split too. I don't have on my shoes. I will be an honor.
Stop.
Is this good?
Big smiles to everybody.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Right there. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you all.
Thank you.